Hello and welcome to today's episode. I'm really glad you're here. In this podcast, we talk about ideas that help you understand the world better while also improving your English. Today's topic is something many people think about but don't always talk about openly: why hard work doesn't necessarily make you rich. When we are young, we often hear the same advice again and again: work hard, study hard, and you will be successful. Teachers say it, parents say it, and we see it in movies and books. The message is simple and clear: hard work leads to wealth and a good life. But when we grow up and start working, many of us notice something strange. We see people who work very hard every day, sometimes in difficult and stressful jobs, but they are not rich at all. At the same time, some people who seem to work less earn much more money. So what is really going on? Let's start by thinking about what hard work actually means. For many people, hard work means working long hours, doing physical or mental tasks that are tiring, and always trying to do your best. A construction worker who works outside in cold or hot weather is definitely working hard. A nurse who stands and walks for 12 hours in a hospital is also working very hard. A factory worker who repeats the same movement hundreds of times a day is another example. But if we look at their salaries, these jobs often do not pay very well. These workers are essential for society. We need them. Without them, cities would not function, hospitals would not run, and products would not be made. Yet their income is usually much lower than that of a company director or a successful entrepreneur. This is the first important point: hard work and high income are not always connected. One reason for this is that money is not paid based on how tired you feel at the end of the day. Instead, it is usually paid based on the value that the market gives to your work. The market is a system where people buy and sell goods and services. If many people can do the same job as you, the salary for that job is often lower, even if the job is difficult. On the other hand, if only a few people can do a certain job, or if the job helps a company earn a lot of money, the salary is often higher. Let's take an example. Imagine two people. The first person works in a small restaurant and cooks meals for customers. They work 10 hours a day, stand all day, and are often under stress. The second person is a software developer who creates an app that millions of people use on their phones. The developer might work fewer hours and sit in a comfortable office, but the company can earn a lot of money from the app. Because the app can be sold to many users at the same time, the developer's work can create much more profit. As a result, the developer is likely to earn more money than the cook, even if the cook feels more physically tired. This brings us to another important idea: the difference between working hard and working in a system that can grow. Some jobs are limited by time. If you are paid by the hour, you can only work a certain number of hours per day. There are only 24 hours in a day, and you also need time to sleep, eat, and rest. This means your income has a natural limit. Even if you are the most hardworking person in the world, you cannot work 100 hours every day. However, some types of work are not limited in the same way. If you create a product that can be sold again and again, like a book, an online course, or a piece of software, you can earn money even when you are not working at that moment. This is sometimes called scalable work, because it can grow without you needing to work more hours. People who become rich often work in areas where their work can reach many people at once. Another reason why hard work alone does not lead to wealth is the role of ownership. This is a key concept. Many people work very hard, but they are employees. This means they work for someone else's business. They receive a salary, which is usually fixed or grows slowly over time. The owner of the business, however, receives the profits after paying all the costs, including salaries. If the business becomes very successful, the owner's income can grow much faster than the income of the employees. Think about a small company that later becomes a large international company. In the early days, the employees and the founder might all work very hard. They may even work similar hours. But if the company becomes very profitable, the founder or the shareholders become extremely rich because they own parts of the company. The employees usually receive only their regular salaries, even though they also worked hard to help the company grow. This does not mean that being an employee is bad or wrong. Many people prefer the stability of a regular salary and do not want the risk and stress of running a business. Starting a business is risky, and many businesses fail. But it helps us understand why hard work by itself is not enough to become rich. The structure of the system and who owns what plays a very big role. Education is another factor that people often connect with hard work and wealth. We are told that if we study hard, we will get a good job and earn a lot of money. Education is definitely important. It can open doors and give you more opportunities. However, not all degrees and not all fields of study lead to high salaries. Some people study for many years and still struggle to find well-paid jobs, while others who learn practical or technical skills can earn more money earlier in their lives. This shows that hard work in school is valuable, but it must also be combined with good information and planning. Knowing which skills are in demand and which industries are growing can make a big difference. In other words, working hard in the wrong direction may not bring the results you hope for. Let's also talk about luck, because this is something people do not always like to discuss. Many successful people like to say that they became rich only because of their hard work and talent. Hard work and talent are definitely important, but luck also plays a role. For example, being born in a stable country, having access to good education, or meeting the right people at the right time can strongly influence your success. Imagine two people who are equally intelligent and hardworking. One is born in a country with a strong economy, good schools, and many job opportunities. The other is born in a place with political problems, poor education, and few jobs. Even if they both work equally hard, their chances of becoming rich are very different. This does not mean that people should give up or stop working hard, but it helps us see the bigger picture and understand that success is not only about personal effort. Another important idea is the difference between income and wealth. Income is the money you earn from your job or business. Wealth is the total value of everything you own, such as savings, investments, property, and other assets. A person can have a high income but still not be rich if they spend all their money. On the other hand, someone with a moderate income can slowly build wealth by saving and investing over many years. This is why some people who work very hard and earn a decent salary still feel poor. If all their money goes to rent, food, transport, and other daily expenses, they may have nothing left to save or invest. Over time, this makes a big difference. People who are able to invest in things like stocks, real estate, or their own business often see their wealth grow, even if they do not work more hours than others. Let's take a simple example. Imagine two friends, Anna and Mark. Both of them work full-time and earn similar salaries. Anna spends most of her money on clothes, gadgets, and eating out. Mark lives more simply and saves a part of his salary every month. He uses this money to invest in a small apartment that he later rents to someone else. After several years, Mark not only has his salary but also receives extra income from rent. His wealth grows, while Anna still depends only on her monthly paycheck. Both of them worked hard, but their financial decisions led to very different results. There is also the idea of working smart, not only working hard. This phrase is very popular, but what does it really mean? Working smart often means choosing tasks and projects that have a bigger impact, learning skills that are valuable in the market, and finding ways to use your time more efficiently. It also means thinking about the long term, not only about today or this month. For example, someone might spend years doing a job that does not teach them new skills and offers very small salary increases. They are working hard every day, but their situation does not improve much. Another person might decide to spend time learning a new language, studying programming, or gaining experience in a growing industry. At first, this may require extra effort and even less free time, but in the long run, it can lead to better opportunities and higher income. It is also important to talk about social systems and economic structures. In many countries, the gap between the rich and the poor has grown over the last decades. This means that the richest people own a very large part of the total wealth, while many others struggle to save money. Wages for some jobs have not increased much, even though the cost of living, such as housing and education, has become much higher. In such a system, even hard-working people may find it difficult to become rich simply because the economic environment makes it harder to move up. So, does this mean that hard work is useless? Absolutely not. Hard work is still very important. Without hard work, it is difficult to develop skills, build a career, or run a successful business. Hard work is often the foundation of any achievement. However, hard work alone is not a guarantee of wealth. It must be combined with other factors such as good decisions, useful skills, access to opportunities, and sometimes a bit of luck. Understanding this can actually be helpful and even freeing. If you believe that hard work always leads to riches, you might blame yourself completely if you do not become rich. You might think you are not working hard enough or that you are a failure. But when you understand that the system is more complex, you can make more realistic plans and focus on the things you can control, such as learning new skills, managing your money wisely, and looking for opportunities where your work can have a bigger impact. It also helps us feel more empathy for others. When we see someone working long hours in a low-paid job, we should not assume that they are lazy or that they made bad choices. Often, they are working extremely hard just to support their families. Their situation is influenced by education, location, health, and many other factors that are not always visible. As we come to the end of this episode, let's quickly summarize the main ideas. First, hard work and high income are not always directly connected, because salaries depend on market value, not only on effort. Second, jobs that can grow and reach many people often lead to higher earnings than jobs limited by time. Third, ownership and investments play a huge role in building wealth. Fourth, education and skills are important, but they must match what the market needs. Fifth, luck and social conditions also influence financial success. And finally, working smart and managing money wisely are just as important as working hard. So next time you hear someone say, "If you just work hard, you will become rich," you will know that the truth is more complicated. Hard work is a powerful tool, but it is only one piece of a much bigger puzzle. Thank you very much for listening today. I hope this episode helped you not only practice your English but also think differently about work, money, and success. If you enjoyed this topic, you might want to share this podcast with a friend who is also learning English. See you in the next episode.